checking in with Jill right now at the Running Injury Clinic, talking about diaphragm strength. Jill, what does that have to do with running?
Well, Tara, that's exactly the question, and this is a test that I'm sure you would pass, being a singer with a strong diaphragm. So I'm being joined by Jessica here at the Running Injury Clinic, and we're going through a variety of tests and showing how they can help you improve your running. So what are we testing here this morning, Jess?
Well, what we're looking at is basically the strength of your diaphragm, and are you using it correctly? So the diaphragm has two key roles, really. Breathing, which we kind of all know about, but the second one that we maybe don't think about so much is postural stability or core stability. So what we want is we want to make sure that we're using it to its fullest capacity, because when you're running and you hit a point where the diaphragm starts to fatigue, it's going to drop its role as a postural stabilizer and just focus on breathing, because we can kind of all agree that that's the most important thing. But what happens when it loses that postural stability role is things start to break down. You start to see problems in the core, you start to see movement where you don't want to see movement, there's just not enough control, and ultimately that's going to lead to injury.
Injury, compensating with other things.
Exactly.
Okay, so what's the test? I'm up for it.
All right, so what we're going to do is we've got some software here that allows us to basically assess the strength of it. Now, there's other respiratory muscles in play, so I come in and make sure that you're actually using the diaphragm muscle. So what I'm going to get you to do is we're going to turn this on, you're going to put your mouth on here, and what I want you to do is you're going to breathe in with a bit of force, okay? So it's going to be nice long exhale. I don't want you to force your exhale out or rush it at all. So. And what we're seeing on the screen is showing us what the strength is. So what I want you to do is I really want you to give it a good effort. You're trying to bring in as much air, there we go, as possible. And I've got my hand here to give you a bit of cueing. There you go, starting to use it. And what we're looking for is comparing it to normals based on your age, weight, height, and sex. Okay, take a little break.
I'm getting weaker.
You're getting weaker. And that's true as you go on. If you haven't been using the diaphragm, it's hard for you to do. Typically, we do 30 breaths. It's going to give us a maximum strength index that we work from. Ideally, we'd like to see you falling in. There would be a gray zone somewhere if you got to it that shows what you would be compared to kind of the predicted normals, okay? So we know we've got some work to do. And then what we can do is we can set up then some testing.
Okay.
So we'll just go here. So we go over to the testing now.
Yeah.
And what it does is allows us to, to the training session, allows us to then let you feel what it's like to have a little bit of resistance. So now you're going to be adding strength to the diaphragm. Essentially, it's like if you have weak quad muscles, you're going to go out and do specific exercise. You're going to do squats. You're going to do lunges to try to strengthen it. Well, now we've got a way that we can specifically strengthen the diaphragm. So same thing again, the same type of breathing. The first two breaths are going to be no resistance. It's going to calculate how much resistance it needs to give you. And then after that, it's gradually going to get harder. So
add resistance. Yeah. Okay, we are at a time. I'm going to continue to strengthen my diaphragm. This can actually improve my race time, you guys, which is good news. And just around the corner, I want to show you a sneak peek at the red cord, because this is what we're up for next. Cameraman next going to find his way. I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything like this, but we're getting strapped in on the next segment.
Whoa.
I know what that is.
You do?
Yep.
Oh, well, we're all going to find out in just a few minutes.
I just Googled it the other day.
Did you?
It's so crazy, yeah.
I just want